Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Understanding Power BI from Scratch. I'm Athira, data analyst and Power BI consultant at Intelligence IT. In this video, we will work at how to get data into Power BI using a BI connector. So, the term connector refers to a solution used to connect a data source to a Power BI or a BI tool. So in Power BI, it provides different types of connectors to connect with various kinds of data and data sources. So let's have a look on a few of the connectors which Power BI is providing. The first one is a flat file connector. It usually allow you to get data from many types of file formats such as CSV, Excel, text files, etc. So these data will be stored within Power BI before we are doing the report. Next one is RDBMS. So in Power BI, it provides different connectors for different databases. So it can connect directly to a database instead of exporting the entire data. Say for example, if we have a SQL server within our company, we can use the built-in Power BI connector to connect to the SQL server with our server details and credential input in the connector details. We'll get data directly from our SQL server into our Power BI instead of copying the entire data into Power BI. Next one is non-SQL database. So it is a flexible type of database that doesn't use any table format to store the data. So it is basically an unstructured way of storing the data, mainly for example the files like JSON format or any graphical data, any white columns, etc. The main example of a non-SQL database is CosmoDB. And the final one is an Azure analysis service. So it is mainly used for ad hoc reporting because as they work based on a semantic modeling. So semantic modeling, I'll be explaining it in detail in our upcoming video. So Azure Synapse analysis or Azure analysis service will be using a semantic modeling. So the data set in an analysis service will have a predefined models with the data from different data sources and related metrics with any related calculations. So now let's go through a small demo on how to get data from an Excel and a non-SQL database. So before moving to the demo, please make sure you have the Power BI desktop installed in your system, or you can download it from the Microsoft website or from our Microsoft store. So now we are going to connect our Power BI to an Excel file and get data from Excel file. So I'll just show us a sample file, how it looks like. So this is the Excel file I'm going to connect to Power BI. It have multiple sheets, so I'll be only selecting the main sheet from this. So I will open my Power BI desktop application. So here you can see this area will call as the canvas, where we will build the reports. We'll be creating tables, creating visuals, etc. And on the right side you can see the data. Under this it will list down all the data which we have get from different data sources. And under visualization you can find different pre-built charts and graph representations, and also other filters and the formatting which we use for the graphs and table details. Everything which we require to build a report will be available under visualization. And under filters, this is mainly used for like when we are creating a graph or any other tables. If we want to filter it based on any particular column, we can drag and drop those data or those columns in this particular filter. So now let's move on to how to get data from an Excel workbook. So here you can see this get data button. When I click there, it will list down all the connectors which is available in Power BI. So if I click more, it will show the entire connectors which Power BI is supporting. So there are different types of connectors to connect to different kinds of data sources, whether it is structured or unstructured format. It will connect to almost all data available as of now. So for today, I'll be taking the Excel workbook and I'm going to click connect. So it will take directly to my local system. Here, this is my file. I will choose it. So it will now show all the sheets within this file. So if I'm clicking on the main, for this example, I'm just taking the main sheet. I'm just neglecting all other sheets. So under main, here you can see a preview of the data which is there in the sheet. So this data is already in a built-in format. If you don't need to do any changes, you can directly load it into our Power BI canvas. Or else if you want to transform this data or want to make any changes to this data, you can go under transform the data, so that it will open the Power Query. So this is the area where we can transform our data. Any cleaning we are doing, any transformation we want to do, or we want to remove any data, any columns related to, all these things we'll be doing from our Power Query. So for this example, I'm not going through any transformation. I'm directly loading the data. So I'm just clicking close and apply. So it will load the data into our Power BI. So now the data has got loaded. If you can see here under the data, I have this main sheet which is available. Also, if you go to the table view, you can see the whole data under this area. Here you can change the data type if you want to make any changes, which we can do here. We'll get all the details from here. We'll just test this data if it is coming to the canvas. For that, I'm just using a table view. So once I have the table view, I'm just trying to drag and drop a few of the columns. Maybe say, for example, air humidity. Crop types, and I want to do it as a date wise, etc. So I'll get the whole details in a table view. If I'm removing, now it is in a sum format. I'm just saying I don't want to summarize this. It will show the entire data without summarizing it. So this is how we can load data into Power BI. Next, we are trying to get a JSON file format into our Power BI application. So here I have an example of the JSON file which is residing in an Azure storage under a blob container. So I have this details from a IoT device which I want to get into my Power BI. So what I'll do is I will go to my Power BI desktop application, and when I go to get data and expand, since my data is residing on an Azure platform, which I have stored in a data storage under an Azure storage blob, I will be using this particular connector to get my data. So once I choose the connector and click connect, it will ask for the credential or URL. So whichever URL which you are using, you can enter it here, and it will ask for the credential details. So once you enter the URL details and credentials, you will get the data in our JSON format, but it will be in a compressed format. It won't show the entire record as it is. Here you can see it is not showing any IoT device details as of now, which is in a compressed format. So to expand this, what I will do is I will go to transform data and it will take me to the Power Query editor where I can expand this combined file content. So it will evaluate the query and check the underlying data within this JSON format, and Power BI itself expand the whole thing. So here you can see it has created a different data set as the name query one. This is the one which I have loaded. Now it has created a different one with all the datas which was present in the JSON file. Now once we have all the data available, I can click close and apply so that I will get these details in my canvas. So now the data has loaded. When you can go in table view, you can see the sample JSON file and also the Excel sheet which we have loaded earlier. So this is how we can use a connector to get data into our Power BI. In our next episode, we'll be discussing more on how we can clean the data and transform the data. So I hope you all got an idea on how we can connect data into Power BI using different connectors. If you have any questions, please do message me directly. And please stay tuned for our another interesting video in upcoming weeks. Thanks again and bye.